Hello, welcome to Yoda Soda Creations, the podcast group of friends who are trying to talk movies, TV, all the recent.
Yeah, again, the whole Sunday thing's my fault. Yeah, we were doing another major cleaning session, and yeah, lots of running around, and yeah, really busy day. I didn't actually get to sleep till 4 in the morning. That's how late I was busy. But yeah, other than cleaning, not really much has happened since last week. Thankfully, the cleaning is done for a while for a little bit. Uh, but yeah, that's yeah, basically just cleaning and more cleaning when I'm not at work anyway. Uh, but next week I can start, doing stuff again. Oh. But yeah, yeah, I'm just feeling just a little. Well, you know me. I'm never feeling like 100% or anything. But yeah, basically nothing on my end for stuff. Oh right, I need to start the video. There we go.
Okay, working my, whilst working your way around certain things. Got a few more of those packages from Spec, even though I had to do some modific- modifications in regards to places to find, as some services turns out didn't quite Live up to usual.
Right. So,
Yesterday. Some problem communication. Hope to eventually take care of that.
but yeah, just as a side note, I may have had like a weed gummy earlier today, so it's like if I seem a minor bit off, that's why. Like already, like the left side of my face is kind of funny. Ugh. But yeah, so yeah, we actually watched Here Comes Peter Cottontail, and definitely interesting. Actually, reminded me of like a another kind of movie thing. I believe it's called Doctor Who and the Curse of Fatal Death, or something like that. It's kind of a parody thing. But yeah, like whole thing of the Doctor going against the Master, and they keep going back in time to try to thwart each other, setting up more elaborate solutions to the thing that their enemy used against them when they went back in time, and that's the whole thing. Yeah, this kind of reminded me of that.
Did it happen to include Rowan Atkinson?
Yes, it did.
I can help but play. I can help but play a little bit of that video at one point earlier today.
Yeah. But yeah, I've never seen this before, at least as far as I can tell. If I have seen it before, I don't remember. But yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, Easterbind is gonna retire. Need a replacement. Sure, I want this guy. But I'm being told I should consider this guy. Okay, whoever delivers the most eggs wins. So Peter, being so sure of himself, it's like, it's easy. Parties all night, goes to bed. But Irontail, he basically sabotages the clock. Which, by the way, I was also reminded of the Flintstones there with the animal-based household items that were dinosaur-based. In this case, it's a bird, but I kind of got a similar vibe there. But yeah, they gum up the chicken. So, whoa. Mm. So, yeah, Peter doesn't wake up. It's like, oh no, Iron Tail won. I know the perfect solution for this. Time travel. Well, he meets up with someone, but that's basically where things kick off. It's like, if you have to resort to time travel in the first 5 minutes, you've already screwed up. Like, okay, go back in time to deliver the eggs. But Iron Tail's like, oh, of course. I already knew about that man's time travel gadgets. So I'll go. So like, okay, I'm gonna shoot down the ship. And it just keeps going and like that with various things. Like, yeah, Peter decided like, okay, go to different holidays. I can give the eggs to them then. It's like, oh, and by the way, 21 Iron Tail did this whole thing like, screw Easter. It's like, from now on this, from now on that. It's like, you know, Peter, you probably could have just waited a bit for the PR backlash, and honestly, you give it a few days, Iron Tail probably would have been rejected by everyone. It's like, I mean, with how he was acting, yeah, I give him a few days at most. uh, but yeah, in no particular order. Let's see now. 4th of July. Try to give them away as
Firecrackers.
firecrackers. Yes. Like I said, my reaction / response time may lag a little bit tonight. Yeah, firecrackers. Like, these aren't firecrackers. These are eggs. And I believe Thanksgiving. But well, everyone already ate, so no need for eggs. Christmas, too cold. Let's see now. Valentine's Day. Tried to do Valentine's eggs, and I guess he got himself a date. But like, yeah, the guy goes back, uses magic to turn all the eggs green. You know, Iron Tail, there was an even easier solution than using magic. Toss the eggs on the ground. Like, dude, you're overcomplicating things.
Technically, there were lots of various methods being done from did get kind of did attempt to get destructive at one point.
Yeah. But yeah, using magic, other stuff, and just plain out theft. Like, there is no limit that Iron Tail will not stoop to keep his job, or to make sure he gets the job so he can keep the job. and already you got the issue of like, okay, but if he went back in time to change the events, then he would have never had a reason to go back in time to begin with, because he would have gotten the job. So why would he go back in time? So he didn't go back in time, and whoa. Yeah, time travel's a tool that you have to use very carefully, or else, like, it just raises too many questions. But yeah, but eventually, it's like, okay, I have green eggs now. Hey, have some St. Patrick's Day eggs. So he ends up winning the contest. Like, I call foul. Like, how does St. Patrick's Day eggs count? It's like, you're the Easter Bunny. Your main primary focus is Easter.
This comes in one of two reasons. Comes in one of two reasons why this came to me over the time I was trying to piece together our piece together things while trying to work around certain things.
Yeah.
Usually I try to go for, usually I've been trying to go for green based stuff because it's March. Secondly, even if it's not this year, March sometimes plays host for Easter.
Fair enough. But yeah, like it or not, Irontail won fair and square. Although, given the fact that for a competition like that there was only one single egg given out, I would have already suspected something was going on. The egg. Okay, this is a competition. Are you serious? Like, you're supposed to deliver the most eggs, and it's like, one. If that was the case, like, disqualify both of them because clearly they are not worthy of the job. Like, Easter Bunny gotta have some standards.
That's kind of a thing with how Rankin Bass specialists have been stirring up across discussions on the internet in recent years. Writing does throw some questions as time goes by.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, though, it's forgiven because not just for people that have not just for people that have special connections, but
Yeah. Oh, and also there was like, the narrator was really rude. Like, yeah, the guy who has the time machine, he's the one narrating all this, and every so often, probably during what's supposed to be the commercial break, transition. I don't know. That's that's what it felt like. But every now and then he'll pull back the camera to himself and basically mockingly repeat whatever or the villain last said before they cut to him. It's like so he says that I know that he's the villain, but sir, you're being very rude. Wow, I am like very lively during this podcast. Maybe I need to have the gummies more often. Uh, but yeah, that's but yeah, Peter won, everyone celebrated. But what's keeping Iron Tail from doing something to sabotage the St. Patrick's Day? It's like at a certain point he kind of just gave up. Like, oh, certainly I've beaten him this time while we're constantly traveling through time. It's like, yeah, I think Peter had the challenge difficulty set down to beginner, because sorry, because yeah, I think the AI bugged out there, and he forgot to proceed on to next level. Like, yeah, Iron Tail just dropped the ball there. Oh yeah, so why Iron Tail's like all for ruining Easter? A child ran over his tail once, now he has his iron tail. It's not fluffy like normal tails, therefore he hates children and wants to ruin Easter. And like one might say, like, yeah, that's a bit of a harsh reaction. Yeah, one child did that, like, but Iron tells himself, I don't care. I hate children. So at least he's self-aware that it's kind of a bit much. Trying to remember other thoughts I had during this. But yeah, honestly, this ends a bad. This movie. This was from 2001. I mean, I knew that I just forgot for a moment.
You're looking at the. You're looking at the.
Oh, it's
VHS
from a 2000.
VHS release date.
Oh. Yeah, reading ability is just a little bit off today. Yeah, it's like, wait, this seems kind of low quality for 2001.
I was about to say when you brought up Flintstones. Well, it was the 70s. Well, it was the 70s, so.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, so. Actually, some of the voice actors. So for Iron Tail, we had, I believe that was Vincent Price. Or. Yeah, because I remember he, like. He I have watched enough 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo to recognize that voice. And I mentioned that series because I don't think I've actually watched anything else with him in it. Except maybe the music video for Thriller. And for Peter, I'm not exactly sure, but I was definitely getting Shaggy vibes.
Classic Shaggy, of course. And
Yes.
surprisingly he's one of the more recent to have sadly left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Casey Kasem, Peter Cottontail, Vincent Price, Irontail. Danny Kaye. Who's Danny Kaye? He was the Sassafras, the time travel guy. Okay. Do have I seen any of this? Nope. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Haven't heard of them. Joan Gardner.
I believe at the time he was a noted radio person.
Ah, fair, fair. Okay, nothing there. And Paul Frees. I mean, I'm kind of not surprised. I'm not recognizing anything that it is kind of old stuff, so yeah. Okay, Paul Frees did some stuff with Frosty the Snowman. Ooh, Last Unicorn. Okay. Mabrook and the Cat. Like, yeah, not saying that what they do isn't good work. It's just that most of them I've never heard of. And two of the ones I've heard of is because of Scooby Doo. And Iris Rayner was Donna, um, Peter's Valentine's Day date. Yeah, not much on. Yeah, didn't really do all that much. Did some books, but yeah, she did well enough. And there's a few people there that minor side characters. Yeah, they don't even have wiki pages. So yeah.
Can't tell
Also,
if
there's a talking but. Oh,
can't tell if those two are supposed to be brothers given their last names, but
eh. Also, there's a talking bonnet at one point. It's like, sure, whatever. Like, we already started off with time travel. I'm not gonna question the talking bonnet.
somehow I'm getting this feeling that you haven't been exactly as wrapped around Rankin Bass as much as I have.
Not as much. Like, as far as things I can remember, that's not much. Yeah, my memory's not that great when it comes to, like, early stuff. And sometimes more recent stuff.
Wouldn't call myself a super fan, mind you, but I have gained a new respect as time goes by.
Yeah. But yeah, not just in Rankin Bass, I just... I typically don't watch stuff past a certain point in time. Well, especially recently. Way back when I was basically limited to basic cable, including Cartoon Network.
Almost sounds like not quite as much in the home media department, apparently.
Yeah, but VHS costs money. Also, video rental stores. That I remember when those were a thing. But yeah, I was mostly satisfied with occasional video rentals and watching Cartoon Network.
But yes, with Rankin Bass, you kind of have to get used to certain concepts. Veterans, of course, know we started out with live toys. We had Lichens and Warlocks at one point.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good movie if, like, I'm sorry, just the time travel bit's getting me. Like, eh, once you resort to time travel, unless you have a really clever solution to the whole thing, there's no reason for either side to win. If, it's a PG rated thing, yeah, well, no killing or anything like that. I mean, even old stuff, like, even, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's like, once you've enabled time travel for both sides, it, it'll basically just be like obviously the good guy will win because plot demands it to be so. So therefore, any reason for him to win is fine. Ew.
Like I said, as time goes by, the writing is usually one of the bigger back and forths when people talk about Rankin Bass.
Yeah.
certainly one of those cases where there are times where thinking isn't healthy.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, so like, yeah, apparently Peter's bad at lying. His ears kind of do a thing when he lies. And it's like, yeah, he tries all these plots. Well, I say plots as if he's the bad guy, but like all these different ways to give away the eggs, and it's like a lot of times, like it's most like, oh, I need to do this so I can win, and then it's like, fine, if I can do this, I won't lie again. And it's like, so he ends up selling the eggs as like St. Patrick's Day shamrock eggs or whatever. It's like, uh, how should I put it? Marketing is like lying, but with better PR. I just thought of that right now, and that actually makes sense. Like, like you see in those fast food commercials the food looks so good, then you actually get it and it's like this looks nothing like it was shown. It's like, yeah, marketing is just lying with better PR. It makes perfect sense. Uh,
Funnily,
the things you think of what.
funnily enough, I
Yeah.
kind of came kind of came across a small behind the scenes bits of pizza commercials. Not real cheese.
Yeah. Things you think of when your brain's not quite all there. Also, drink of choice for this week, Cherry Coke Zero. I've been trying to cut down on the sugary drinks. I've been getting like sugar-free energy drinks. I've started getting some sugar-free sodas as well. I mean, yeah, I should just cut down on the sodas altogether, but I've just been really thirsty lately, and like the water pitcher filter thing only filters so quickly. But yeah, good movie if you can turn your brain off. I mean, it is meant for children. Not saying that children are I just say that when it comes to children's stuff, most people end up putting in minimal effort in the way of actually respecting the intelligence of children. But yeah, it was good. And yeah.
From a character standpoint, when it comes to writing, at least they managed to give a lot of their give a lot of their characters some depth. That's something that keeps things holding on
Yeah.
with Rankin Bass stuff. I think that's probably one of the major things that people remember the most when it comes to the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out this is actually Gardner's second outing with this studio. Previously, she was Santa's wife in Coming to Town.
Oh.
She was also an additional on the at least one Scooby-Doo outing.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much the days were done. The style has also helped Arby stood out.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they recycled models from the Coming to Town special during the Christmas segment in this movie.
Oh. Oh yeah, now I remember I was gonna start out my off with my thoughts. Peter is a cheating cheater that cheats. I mean, if you're resorting to time travel to win, you're cheating. Mind you, again, both of them were time traveling, so get at, and he should have held a new contest with different bunnies. There I go thinking again.
At least he's trying to put things right, unlike
Fair.
songs are also surprisingly good.
Yeah, there were songs. Don't particularly don't particularly remember any of them. Ooh. But that could just be because of my condition tonight.
Most likely.
Yeah, Jeanette wasn't kidding when she said these were strong. I was like, I only had one of them. Yeah, when I get like this, I just tend to be a bit more giggly than usual. Eh. Eh.
Game in particular is quite the singer.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly, I recognize this usually. Admittedly, certain recognized songs aren't usually, say, chart toppers or things like that. But
Yeah.
they're still earworms. At least if you grew up with this studio.
Yeah.
It's almost funny that I actually watched it all the way through because I stopped it when the last Fade to Black occurred, and then you read last Fade to Black occurred, and then I heard you say, "Oh, commercial."
It's like, and suddenly commercials. Yeah, I figured like maybe there's something after this, like I don't know, uh, whatever.
I don't think any mid credit post credit things sort of gets tr-
I
treading
wasn't
at that.
expecting anything like. Well, I wasn't expecting like a mid credits thing. Or, I figured that I okay, there's stuff after the credit. It's like maybe I should pay attention to this. Like video's not quite all the way over, you know. It's like maybe whoever uploaded the video tossed in like I don't know.
Guess should have mentioned that. Guess should have mentioned that as time goes by. People have people have found a tendency to see what else is on the VHS. And in that case, all of what's on there was present.
Yeah.
Because if you could get something before, something after.
Yeah.
which nowadays is usually skippable.
Right.
Or at least placed somewhere within a disk.
Mm-hmm.
Surprising, surprisingly, till the rise of the internet reviewers community, as I'm going to call them. The only other way I knew about this was VHS advertisements.
Ah. Ah.
So it was like I knew the studio for a while, just hadn't quite exactly gotten enough exposure until recently.
Fair enough.
But yeah, another nice one to add to the library, as well as quite a bit to add in their expanded universe. Yes, in fact, this is another studio that works off the a little trend that Universal kind of started,
Yeah.
at least for film and television.
Yep. The thing they started, then didn't really do anything with after a bit, and then tried to do again but forgot how to. Of course, referring to the whole, what was like the dark universe or whatever it was. Yeah, that was a total flop.
Funnily enough, they were sort of the television distributor under their NBC. Uh, subsidiary.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like nice little Easter movie. Technically speaking, in it's in almost any holiday movie because like all the holidays that get featured. Kind of like Die Hard's a Christmas film. It's like Peter Cottontail takes place on all the holidays, therefore it's in every holiday movie. Yeah. So, um, on to the news, I guess. So, Indiana Jones 5 is wrapped up filming. I'm still do we really have to do another one? It's like, can't you just, I don't know, release a Blu-ray box, HD Blu-ray box set of the original trilogy with like a bunch of bonus features? Like, I don't know. Wait, no, that wouldn't work. Time frame's too different. Uh, uh, Sorry, I was just looking something up and thinking about something. Like, but the thought didn't quite click. Uh,
Well, somehow it's kind of how Disney has been working, and since there were many purchases over recent years.
Fair. Yeah, you know how it is. Gotta milk all the franchises dry. Some cases it works. In the case of Marvel, even though they're kind of doing their own thing, but whatever. But in the case of like, say, I don't know, Star Wars, it's like, eh. I mean, yeah, kind of think they're starting to do. I don't know, maybe damaging the brand a bit due to the overuse, like a quantity over quality kind of thing.
Might need to do a little more research, but chances are chances are a crew could be a chances are a crew could be a little different. Probably not the same writer from last time.
Fair.
Even though he has a decent reputation.
Yeah. The final trailer for Morbius has released. It'll be releasing in theaters on April 1st. It's like, oh yeah, Morbius. That's still a thing that's happening. And it's like, oh yeah, Morbius. That character. I don't even know much about Morbius in the comics. All I remember is like he was the plasma guy in the Spider-Man animated series with like the hand suckers. God, I love that show.
Some Fox Kids one.
Yeah, huh?
Okay, that makes sense.
Uh, apparently, Jerry Seinfeld's doing a film about the invention of the Pop Tart titled Unfrosted, which he'll be directing and starring in. Yeah, apparently it's gonna be on Netflix, and it was awarded state tax credits in California, or Netflix was, or I don't know. It's a Pop Tarts thing on Netflix. The Batman's doing actually pretty decently on Rotten Tomatoes with with an 89% score with 142 reviews. So okay, not bad. Like I'm sure it's a perfectly serviceable movie, but like I'm sorry, I just don't trust DC with the live action films anymore. Like until they can show that I don't know. Like I guess they're keeping things more separate now. So, but I don't know.
On the plus side, looking to be really for some pattern, looking to be some really for Pattinson, who can't remember if it was this week or last week, but he was going to do artsy porn if this didn't work.
Yeah.
Looks like the chance is slimming.
Beetlejuice 2. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Looks like the chance is slimming.
Yeah. Beetlejuice 2 is moving forward with Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder reprising their roles. It'll be produced by Brad Pitt, and yeah, they hope to start filming this summer. It's like, but why?
nostalgia property again. Not to mention that the musical I heard was apparently successful.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't really pay attention to such things. Crunchyroll has announced that it is eating Funimation's content library for lunch, as the content will be moving over to the Crunchyroll service. So, yeah, if you're paying subscriptions for both, hey, you only have to pay for one now. Season 4 of Titans has begun filming. I, on the other hand, need to keep reminding myself that show is still going. I, I guess it's popular enough. Speaking of things that inexplicably keep going, John DiMaggio is officially returning as Bender for the Hulu run of Futurama.
Took a bit of negotiations, but
Yeah,
yeah, that should cool things down a bit.
yeah. Lupin has restarted filming after approximately 20 people broke onto the set, threw mortar fireworks, and stole an estimated $333,000 worth of equipment. It's the second highest to happen on the set of a Netflix series recently. It's like, so we got the Netflix bandits going on right now. Is that right? You know, if it keeps up, they could do a series about that. It's like, how can we profit off of our misfortune? And in this case, I wouldn't fault them for doing that, because, like, that takes a level of self awareness that I could appreciate.
Yeah, when that popped up.
Oh,
Yeah, when that popped up, and remembering the report last week, remembering the report from our last show.
yeah. I remember that. Epic Games has acquired Bandcamp, and there was much complaining.
Okay, yes, it was here.
It's like, yeah, no one sees this going well.
Michael Douglas cast as Benjamin Franklin in an Apple TV series about Franklin's mission to France during the Revolution.
Hmm.
He will be the second two-timer to have played 18th century characters. as Walter previously played not just Franklin but also Washington.
Huh.
One was more of a documentary series, but still.
Yeah. Oh, apparently a Minecraft movie was meant to release this week. It's like, what? Like, is this an actual movie, or is it like what they did with the mobile Kingdom Hearts games on in the HD collections? Just compile all the cutscenes into a movie. For in this case, for the Minecraft story mode. And if it's the case that the story isn't all finished yet, well then, in the case of the mobile game, that story wasn't finished either, and they still ported the movie. It's like, yeah, for like the rest of the story, they really need like a, I don't know, patch in the rest of the thing, the rest of the content into the movie. Like, hell, bundle, like, put it as a $2 DLC. Sorry, kind of rambled there a bit.
Here's what I can find. Warner Brothers, Peter Sully directing, Steve Carroll, David L. Day Lewis, and Joaquin Phoenix in the cast.
Hmm.
Co-production with Sweden.
Yeah.
Ender Dragon's going to be a major thing.
Hmm. Yeah, apparently this has been a thing that's kind of been in the works for a while. Eh. The Digimon Adventure anime is getting an English dub starring Zeno Robinson and Ben Diskin. Now, to be specific, this is the 2000 2022 2021 Digimon Adventure series, not to be confused with the original Digimon Adventure series from the 90s. Even though I wouldn't mind getting a faithful dub of that one, a la the new Sailor Moon dub, proper names and everything. Which is not to say that the original dub was bad. It definitely has that 90s, early 2000s cheesy charm to it. Just some of us would like, a more faithful version. Though not to be confused with the faithful version that we got with Sailor Moon Crystal, which, like, okay, it's more accurate to the manga, minus a few bits they changed, but yeah, the thing you realize by watching that is the filler really helped with character development. Like the manga is like, okay, this bit done. Really fast pacing, no room to breathe. So yeah, that's one of those cases where the where filler helps. Okay, went off the rails there a bit. I apologize.
Enough connections. This, this one I could not but find amusing. Fresh, now certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Huh. That's fair. Like I'm sure they did that on purpose. Uh, Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan will star in a sequel to I Am Legend.
I can certainly remember when
And
I can certainly remember when that was a huge talking point when a couple years ago.
yeah, huh? I'm assuming this is based on the movie original ending, as opposed to what was supposed to happen. Yeah, if you didn't know, in the original story, yeah, things don't end quite so happily. Or something like that. My memories might be a bit fuzzy, but whoa. Hmm, I'm good. But yeah.
Sounds like that cure vaccine or whatever from the central character.
But yeah, just like with a lot of the East remakes, it's or late sequels, it's like, okay, but who's really asking for this? Well, clearly some people are asking for this, but it's like sometimes it just feels like they're and they are, but just shoving out remakes and sequels to old stuff just because they can. So there's a new poster and trailer for Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. What are the secrets of Dumbledore? Honestly, does anyone even care anymore?
I can still remember where to find them was a huge talking point. So
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it started out good, but then it's just like, eh. I guess apparently Voldemort's snake was actually a person the whole time, or something. It's like, wow, is this really the deep, important lore that everyone was asking for? Like, what was wrong with the snake being a snake? Like, you know, someone from Slytherin having a snake, like that makes perfect sense, even if it's a bit cliche. Sorry, rant over. Uh, but yeah, the movie's releasing on April 15th. The Twisted Metal series starring Anthony Mackie is officially in the works at Peacock. It'll be a live-action half-hour action comedy series. Like, okay. Like, I, I remember playing Twisted Metal. Fun times. When, you actually have someone to play it with. Yeah, there's like I think a single player mode, but like that, eh.
the next Captain America was mentioned. How couldn't I?
Mm-hmm. Let's see now. Parental controls will be added to Disney Plus on March 16th to allow for more mature content. Like, honestly, they probably should have had the parental controls on there anyway, just because I, I don't know. It just seems like something that should come up by default for anything that's doing TV and movies.
Well, that's further stated the upcoming upcoming move in regards to certain Marvel properties kind of prompted it.
Also, if you go quiet it for like a short period of time, it's because I have the microphone muted because I'm chewing on granola. Don't want to get it all, crunchy in the microphone.
Fair enough. And speaking of streaming platforms becoming multimedia platform, or streaming platforms, Netflix is next to become a multimedia platform as they are buying another game studio to create "quote unquote" world-class games.
Yeah. Actually, you know what would be perfect for Netflix to get into as far as game stuff goes? Visual novels. It doesn't need any complex controls, just occasionally selecting stuff and moving the text forward.
Makes sense. Not that I've tried them myself, but they have been releasing things called interactive. So
Yeah. Like, I don't know, maybe Netflix can get in contact with the studios and I don't know, like has special animated cutscenes or whatever commission like for I don't know. Make it like a Netflix exclusive feature. I don't know. I'm just tossing out ideas.
on a more controversial note, Activision Blizzard sued by a family of employees who died by suicide.
Yeah. A new Alien movie is in the works with Fede Alvarez to set to direct and Ridley Scott set to produce. Okay, I guess. Like, yeah, I hate to sound so negative, but like, were the more recent Alien films really doing that great? That like, I don't know.
Well, chances are with some of the original headliners on board, things could turn around, possibly.
Maybe.
Here's an name I never thought I'd mention for the show. Gabe Newell comments on crypto NFTs. More about the bad actors and less the technology.
Eh. I guess. Uh, Anime production Studio Giants has started bankruptcy proceedings. What did they do? It's key animation and in-between animation for numerous anime, including Fairy Tail, Captain Tsubasa, Zoids, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Bakugan Battle Brawlers. Okay. I I have honestly never heard of them before this, so
Looks like there's a few recognizable names under the belt, though.
yeah. Gran Turismo 7 needs to be played online for basically everything.
Granted, not everyone plays racing, but I just had to add that.
Yeah. But yeah, it needs to be online. Or basically, whenever they decide to stop, paying for the servers, that game is useless unless they feel merciful enough to patch it into a offline enabled mode.
And speaking of racing, earlier today, Bowman was a Vegas winner, but surprisingly, only one Mustang made it into the top 10.
Hmm.
Could be missing something, but for some recent memory I can think of where that name didn't quite score that much. Because usually there's a few more. Because usually since for a while it was usually a bit more than one.
Yeah. The new name for Severn Valley Railway's purple steam locomotive has been announced. The name chosen is Elizabeth II or Elizabeth II, whichever. But that's it. No Trainee McTrain face. Honestly, I'm disappointed. Seriously, it was a ballot that saw thousands of votes cast from around the world. It's like, seriously? Either no one even tried on this one, or they're not publishing which one actually got all the votes.
Can't remember precisely since I also participated, but I'm pretty sure there were one's less person based.
Hmm.
Nonetheless, it works given the Jubilee.
Yeah. Ooh, bit of drama. ABC reportedly warned the Academy that it would cancel the Oscars telecast via a clause in the Academy and ABC's deal if 12 categories were not removed from the show. Oh. Wait. Okay, reading comprehension. Cancel the Oscars via clause. So they want to remove 12 categories. That it would constantly cancel the Oscars if 12 categories were not removed from the show. So, okay. I'm probably reading that wrong. But yeah, that's okay. More drama, sure. Disney Plus is going to be launching a ad-supported subscription plan later this year with a lower price point. Before or at some point in the future, they bump the price up, price of that ad to the regular, and just show ads on everyone's videos. by, by 2023, 20th Century Studios will be producing over 10 movies a year for streaming and will release 2 to 3 movies theatrically. Yeah, fair enough. Like, you to use 20th Century, if you think that's going to work out, good for you.
Getting back to awards. First SAGs for Arena DeBose and Will Smith for West Side Story and King Richard, respectively.
Hmm. Ooh.
A few more concept arts came out this week for G5.
Mm-hmm.
Also got some preview shots for Maritime Adventure game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad they're about the same in looks. The texture-wise, I kind of wish they'd gone a bit further.
Mm-hmm. Triangle Strategy has released about 2 days ago. Yeah, remember that game? Like, yeah, they actually kept that title. It's like Triangle Strategy. Sure. But yeah, I think it's like a tactics-based game. Or basically, if you want to think about it like that, it's basically Final Fantasy Tactics without the Final Fantasy branding. Kind of like how Bravely Default was basically Final Fantasy without the Final Fantasy branding. So yeah, that apparently the reviews are decent so far. So good job to the team.
Well, the Paralympics are still technically hot. Here are the winter results. Norway with the most medals and most most gold.
Hmm.
Bronze letters number is tied with and an ROC. Oh wait, actually Japan has the most oh, no, wait, looking at the wrong. Eee. ROC with the most silver. States coming forth with 25, 7 bronze, 8 gold, 10 silver. New Zealand, Australia, Britain, the Brit collective for this year. Didn't quite perform as well. Two for the home Brits, for Australia, 3 New Zealand.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, Oregon Rail Heritage Foundation is going to have to give out Loco. Alcobaras 324 will be headed to Utah.
Ah. Okay.
The last Western Northern player that was hired, recently retired.
Hmm.
Speaking of which, Western Maryland taking donations for an evaluation of 734, so Mountain Thunder shall be storming eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Ismail and crew expecting a draft very shortly for Westfall's Planet of the Apes film. Hoping to begin filming late summer, early fall. He has also reassured fans after 2 to release this year. New Renegade official Pony RPG materials now listed.
Yep.
Most strict NDA ever, according to Zip's new actress.
Hmm.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, our condolences go to the family and friends of racing cyclist called Lewis, 64. Olympic champion fencer Paula Marosi, 64. Olympic field hockey player Spurts D. Rose Sorio, 56.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Considine, Mickey Mouse Club Patton. Dean Woods, Living Champions Cyclist, 84. Alvin Lant Jr., Braveheart producer. Rights activist, authoring Lucy. Kirk Bailey, Bumblebee. Veronica Carlson from the Hammer Horror series.
Mm-hmm.
Ned Eisenberg, Law and Order SVU. Mitch O'Brien, Dark Shadows. John Stahl, Game of Thrones. Major White, one of the oldest World War II vets at 106. Tony Welton, stage and screen design, Mary Poppins. Johnny Brown, Good Times. Zane Nadella, Microsoft CEO Son. And another round of victims. Of certain things.
So yeah, don't think there's anything. I don't think there should be anything going on next weekend. Um, uh, we'll see. Thankfully, the rush to get things clean is over, so no more all night work things.
Still keeping, still be keeping notes for crisis, although it's personally actually managed to think this time around and come up with something that might actually work. Relevant to the month. Relevant to the month, and
Ooh. Huh.
thing is though I could be getting a bit. Thing is though I could possibly get a deja vu as entirety will be mostly talked, not just not just one segment that holds relevance.
Right. Okay.
So we're going to keep doing certain things, but at least that's a bit more. Let me just come up with something.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully until then. Stay safe, stay well, get fixed, get boosted, pray, and hopefully we will see you next week.